on duty in the castle. I'm pretty excited to say the least. To think that it's my first time I've ever been on duty and I'm going to be guarding the council chambers. I'm no longer just a
Michael Lewis, former New Orleans Saints point kick returner. You're watching WGS-TV.
You have worked your way back to another episode of Sakura Fantasy right here on WGS-TV. I am the Wrestlegamer. On the last episode, apparently Raelin likes to read books topless, which I don't understand why, but she does. And she has now been promoted to a guardsman. So, having finished telling me what I needed to hear, she disappears out of the room. I swap my shin guards around just once, and she's never going to let that go. It's my first day on duty in the castle. I'm pretty excited to say the least. To think that it's my first time I've ever been on duty and I'm going to be guarding the council chambers. I'm no longer just a novice, but an actual warrior. Even though it's just guard duty, it's a step up in the world. Well, she's right about that. Maybe I might find a monster or two hiding inside this place. I'm this much closer to actually being on the exterior of the capital. I'll be fighting actual monsters before I know it. I've often wondered what happens in these chambers. These are the people who lead an entire empire. It's quite a responsibility to hold. Would Ardina also be in there? Wandering in, I find a whole complement of guards at the entrance. Wearily, one of them turns to face me. I haven't seen you before. You must be one of the new poor souls who has to guard this chamber. Yes, I'm here on guard duty. Then I hope you can cope with boredom. I bet they have you patrolling the halls, too. How did you know? The same thing happened to me. My instructor said I was getting a promotion. That's the last thing you should be calling this position. That is what my instructor told me, too. You fell for the same trick I did. Well, welcome to guard duty at the council chamber. There's one of them for each ministry in the city. All of them are quite boring, believe me. They're coming now. I hope you're ready. He motions for me to stand to attention. I'm trying not to rush myself. They might notice me getting ready, but it doesn't matter. It will look better if I don't rush myself. As I stand ready, a group of men wearing hooded cloaks shuffle past me. Slowly, ever so slowly, they make their way to their seats. When the last member takes his seat, one of the councilmen to the far left clears his throat. So begins the weekly meeting of the capital's councilmen. We will begin with a list of today's topics of discussion. Any member of the council, as always, may put forward requests for what it is to be discussed first. Personally, I would like to discuss the matter of defense. And I don't think defense is spelled right here. Specifically, regarding the more vulnerable locations on the capital's outskirts. There have been additional attacks from the Myers targeting farms outside of the wall. So now we got a name for them. It's called the Myers. These creatures are obviously displaying higher levels of intellect. We should approach them accordingly. You bring that up every time we debate. They're just mindless animals. Their debates really are boring. It's almost shocking to hear how boring they are. Given how numerous they are, of course attacks on vulnerable locations would be higher. Increased numbers alone do not account for the coordination of these attacks, my fellow councilmen. These are deliberate and targeted. We need substantial proof before we can act on that information. How can we find proof when we are too busy defending ourselves against them? I've yet to meet a warrior brave enough to explore the Myers. This is maddening. Why did Kira do this to me? Then obviously our best course of action is to simply build our walls higher and stronger, as we've been doing for the past decade. We may have lost territory, but if we build an unbreakable fortress and slowly expand outward, we'll eventually reclaim it. Not if these attacks continue on the farms and traders. What, Dustin? To do what? Where's Dad? Where's Dad? Ay, ay, ay. Well, guys and gals, unfortunately, this is going to be a... I'm going to have to cut this episode short right now. I do apologize because of somebody not telling me proper information before I started recording. So I do apologize for that, guys and gals. So this is going to be about a 5.5-minute episode. So I do apologize. But apparently I'm needed to go do something elsewhere. So with that being said, I am the Wrestlegamer saying we'll see ya at the next Warp Zone. Everywhere. Less clothing is always more comfortable than more. I barely even read the book. I'm more than happy to lie here and let the sun laughing.
Wow! And now you know why he loves me.